Hello, people. This camera. See, it's the one with the red. It's me and her.
I'm Vanessa.
See, she knows how to do this. Vanessa's here.
I know my name. That's all I know.
That's all. It's about the guitar, but we don't know about this. We just know her name. Henning Vanessa. Vanessa. I like to say it that way. It's probably going to know the living crap out of you if I do that. Vanessa. We're here to tell you about the Vola OZ ROA. I like to say ROA. The ROA, which stands for... I don't know. Roasted OA. I don't know. Roasted old ash. Roasted... It's an ash top. Roasted maple neck, ash top.
Optimal.
Roasted optimal ash.
Optimal, yeah.
Roasted or otherwise. No. Otherwise with an A. Yeah, oh wow. This video is a good start. If you're now thinking, why is he talking so much and why aren't they talking about the guitar? Then you haven't been here. This is what we do. And if there's other people, in this case, Vanessa, then there's going to be shenanigans abound. So we're looking at the OZ ROA. ROA, we don't know what that stands for. And I've had an Oz, which is behind Vanessa, for a while now, and I love the damn thing. It's one of my go-to guitars for cleans, because as all Vola guitars, they have quite a pronounced high end, and it's just sparkle heaven. Sparkle Town. You've played this before, right? I mean, like an hour ago.
It's like, really sparkly.
There's a lot of high end, especially in the in-between positions. So if you're into, I'd say ambient stuff, you want those single coil sounds to really cut through.
But also funk.
Yep. Really, really cool funk stuff. The beautiful guitars. Don't expect the massive amount of fatness. I don't think Volas have that necessarily, but you don't need that because any engineer will just EQ it out anyway. Now, this is a brilliant guitar. It looks very stratty with the color. It's very traditional. You said this is more traditional than this.
I actually think we could find out the ROR.
Let's start with this because there's a QR code here. Let's see what if it takes me to porn, then then that's good. Let me see. Brings me to no data is in the database. Okay. So that's not on the Vola website. Let me see this one. Sorry, no data is found in database. Way to go, Vola, printing that on the guitars so that it leads you nowhere. Now, I love this guitar. Volume tone, 5-way switch, wiggly thing, HSS, vintagey tuners, skunk stripe. It's got a painty neck. That's what it's called, right?
Painted neck, probably.
Yeah, painty neck. There's no finitude here to go to the body, which I don't necessarily think you need. I don't know what this is for, because who plays guitar like this? That doesn't...
Like, it's maiden style, you know?
Ah, it's like when you have it on your knee. Right, then it makes sense. Then you can do the middlies and squiddlies up here. It's a brilliant instrument and really not expensive. It does have a massive neck. Almost like a big, I would call it, I don't know neck shapes, a D, but it's a super fat D. Let's look at this. You can't even see this. It's everyone that plays it says this neck is massive. But after 2 minutes, people are saying, yeah, but it's super comfortable. So this has been one of the things that people bitched about a little bit. And then Vola went and said, okay, we're going to go further. We're going to do roasted maple neck and fretboard. Slightly different configuration for the guitar, but we're going to take the neck shape down a bit. So the OZ ROA has a slightly different neck. How would you describe the difference?
It's like, it's definitely less thick.
Okay.
It's it's not painted.
It's super smooth. It's very fast.
It's like it goes like this.
It goes like this. Beautifully described, Vanessa.
It's really like floating. Can say that.
And then turn it around. We have
it's easy playable. has high accessibility. Yeah.
So we have a mahogany body. Turn it around. Which is not painted. It's oiled. You can see skunk stripe here also on the. There we go, on the neck. And a beautiful all body. And it's got an alder top. And it's tough for me to see if that's really a thick alder top. I think it is. It's not the mahogany, right? It's not just painted mahogany. The grain actually, see, this grain actually doesn't continue here.
No, it doesn't.
So there's about a 7-8 millimeter alder top on it. You can see with the natural binding right here. Beautifully done. Actually, wait. We have a camera for that. With a beautiful grain in there. No, it's not an alder top. I was lying. Let me open the website and cheat. It's an ash top. I'm sorry. So it's an ash top.
Now we have the A.
Yeah, yeah, that's where the ash comes from. Of course. And I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually a little bit sandblasted. So it's kind of has a rough texture on top. Right there, you can see it. Kind of a rough texture. Rough, like a dog, get it? And then the see-through pickguard. And I have it in, of course, the best color, which is called something. DSE, OGD. Wait, I have it. There's the luminous, the also a luminous back. It's the DSE, which stands for, it's great that, I don't know what it stands for. It's the DSE. It's
more room to guess, I guess.
Purpley, green, crazy, metallic. Why did I get it in this color? Because I thought in videos it stands out more. It comes in black, again, sandblasted, in a brown sandblasted, and then there's a luminous one that glows in the dark. Then again, how many times do you play in the dark?
Sometimes. Depends on the band you're playing.
Okay, Vanessa is going to get the luminous one. So there isn't loads of information in terms of specs on the website. Mahogany body, bolt-on neck, roasted maple one piece, Vola large C shape. It's a C shape. Two-way truss rod, fingerboard, none. What? Actually, that's correct. There is no fingerboard.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the neck. That's why we have the skunk stripe. Black dot inlays, 12-inch radius, baby dolphin scale, 25.5 inch. Vola, pickups. Vola VHC bridge, Vola VHC neck, Vola VHC middle. You have no idea. Actually, VHS. That's like that old video system. You wouldn't know.
Actually, I do.
How old are you?
Older than you think.
Nicely averted. To be continued, we will find out how old Vanessa is. Watch more videos with her in it. A 5-way lever switch that sounds like cluck, cluck, cluck. I don't know. 5-way switch, volume tone, nickel, hardware, I don't know. Godot bridge, ash top, 42 millimeters, bone nut. Now, in terms of specs, this is a pretty high-end guitar. We have, obviously, a reversed headstock. We have staggered tuners. It's got everything I want to see on a guitar. I kind of feel, look at this, I kind of feel there should be a string tree here. It's pretty straight and pretty long.
Yeah.
That's where you say that's what she said. But
yeah.
By the way, she said that earlier. It's not me being a perv. That was her. She started it. And what I love is vintagey looking tuners. So from the front, look at that. They look vintagey, but locking tuners. So overall, this is a pretty big improvement in terms of specs and everything over the standard Oz. And I'd love to tell you how much this is, but I cannot, because I do not know. Show the gig bag. You have to come back in the thing. Comes in a gig bag, which is halfway decent. It's not, oh my god, what a killer gig bag, but it's okay with the padding and all that stuff. if you want to really, carry that everywhere, you might want to get a better one. So we should get some sounds, for which I will hand it over to you, which is actually what Vanessa's here for, because she can play, and that means I can drink my matcha water.
Can I?
I heard you play. You can play. So we're going into the Tone King, Sky King, through the AUX with a 412 Greenback loaded cab. Psst, Vanessa!
I'm here to play this, what you
What? But I'm not when I'm talking! No effects right now. We're gonna go into loads of amps later. And for now, see, she's one of those people that when, let's do clean, and they immediately go to the bridge pickup. I don't understand what is wrong with those people.
It's either that one or that one for funk, isn't it?
Yeah, but no, it's not. I would never, for clean sounds, and that's just me, go to the bridge pickup ever. It's too.
When do you use that?
It's too honky. I use it for drive.
Okay.
But it's too honky. It's too nasal. It'll always be neck or in between. So start over here. Also, wait, sorry. There's also a switch for a humbucker single coil in the back.
But it's like not that easy to use because, like, when you're playing,
you wouldn't do that in the middle of the song, probably. And we're going to talk about the very difficult to turn volume knob when we bitch about things.
But then also it's like, it's not that you always hit the switch when you're playing, because I feel like it's a
harder switch. And it's in a good position.
It's not like
you're slowly moving out of the image.
Oh.
I don't bite. Okay, go, gimme. Don't talk when the guitar's ringing, because later I can't see that you're talking.
Oh, okay.
YouTube 101, playing or talking. It sounds way closer to a classic Strat sound than you would think from looking at the guitar.
Yeah.
Right? It pretty much nails those single coil sounds. And what I find interesting that the middle single coil is one of the very few middle positions that actually I like by itself. My favorite position is the in-between in the back. That's nice. Let me give me that for a second. Something that I would primarily use this guitar for because of all the beautiful cleanitude. Put some delay and reverb on there, and really just play beautiful open. Maybe some compression. It does this really, really well. So I totally can imagine that this is a beautiful guitar for actually people doing the clean ambient stuff because it just sparkles. Now, before we go into different amps, you need to tell us a little bit why you can play like that, because otherwise I'm going to have to answer 500,000 questions like who's Vanessa and why can she play?
So I'm actually studying in Mannheim, and I'm studying guitar, or they call it pop music design, which is just I don't know.
Pop music design sounds very. It sounds like someone sitting there in Fruity Loops putting shit on a computer.
Yeah, actually, people sometimes ask me if it was like, yeah, it's like with Photoshop and design stuff, but it's actually not. So the only thing we're designing is really music. So.
But with the focus on guitar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so we have to do internships. So I was thinking about going to, I don't know, to Berlin or to go into any label. And I did internships before, and I didn't want to do what I did in those. So which is, I mean, when you're doing internships, there's always a room to clean up, and they're always like moving from somewhere to somewhere else, just because you're doing the internship, and they have like the special workforce.
Oh, so they're hiring more interns when they know they have to move.
Maybe
that's beautiful.
I mean, I did some interesting internships, but there are often like times when they don't know what to do with you, and those times can add up. So I sometimes just sat there and really played guitar. And so I thought that this is like the place where I can learn most, probably.
Yeah. So she's she's visiting you today, and we're testing out on some videos because she might be doing an internship here, in which I have rooms to clean. I'm just saying, you know. Okay, there's stuff to clean here, so it'll be exactly like at a label. This is pretty much exactly the same thing. Just letting you know. And you also did a semester abroad in Chicago, right?
Right, yeah, at the Columbia College of Music, and that was thankfully it was before Corona, so now I would really die inside, because if that was coming this fall.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to go there.
No,
nope.
Probably not.
Not gonna happen.
So I was lucky, and that was an amazing time. Like so many guitar stores, and so basically there's a guitar store. I won't say in every street, but if you Google it and you find one where you live, it's like that.
And they're all closed right now. Well, whenever this video comes out, which is, I don't know, maybe next week something. So we're going into more amps. We covered the clean with the Tone King Sky King. Let's do AC 30-ish. Well, let's go back and forth. I'm going to do the AC 20-ish thing. Am I doing this right? Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. it's almost a little bit too much high end.
Yeah.
The guitar is always like very sparkly, but depending on the sound, be careful with the sparkle. It's one of the very few guitars where I want to use the tone knob, right? But that spankitude is always there. It's always smack in the face. So you're doing the JCM 800. We're gonna go to the orange. You continue with the orange Reverb 50 on the drive channel. Give me that. We're going into the Marshall Miniplexi, the SV Studio Vintage 20, right behind my bald head. Apparently we're not. So that's a good example of maybe not the very best combination, because that, I got it bridged, and if you have the bright channel in, that's a bright amp. So a bright amp with a bright guitar. If you're asking yourself, do they actually have a camera on the tuner? Yes, they do. Why? Vanessa can answer that.
Well, just because
Exactly.
Henning wants you to know how to tune.
No, actually, just because. Because we can.
Because
It's completely pointless. Pretty bright. So with some subtle, my speech impediment. So with some subtle adjustments, I can't say it. So with some subtle adjustments, you say it.
with some subtle adjustments.
It's not easy.
No,
Especially if you have a lisp. So with some subtle adjustments.
Another thing that's really hard is depth.
Depth. Oh yeah.
That's
Months. I can't say months. THS. We can't do that.
in the depth of the month.
I don't know what I'm doing. Now I made it too dark. That can work. Now it's ultra subtle. That I want a little bit more brightness now on the amp. Be careful, it is a bright guitar. I'm going... I'll let you do the two heavy things. I'm doing the Synergy Ecstasy module on the Syn 50, right behind the other guitar there, which is beautifully on the blue channel of the Ecstasy. I'm pushing that with the Antares from Tate Effects. Monetizing. I'm having fun.
It looks like that.
It's so easy to play, and I love that with all the single chordy sounds, you have a direct connection to the tone. You know what I mean? It feels like the wall between you and the guitar is not there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'm not making any sense. Moving on to you get the Friedman small box, which is the BE on the BE channel, so that should rock quite a bit. So where other guitars would actually get kind of a screaming high gain sound out of this guitar is rather subtle. It never really pushes as much as actually many other guitars I have. So if you want this to get more gain, I think you have to have a booster, maybe a compressor, whatever, something behind it, because it has quite the low output. That it feels like that to me, which I think is good, because it can always give more. But actually getting more subtle and reducing is more difficult. So I like that about it, but just know that sometimes you keep wanting to push the amp a little bit harder. We're now going to the Rev 100P, which should be the metal, and then we go away.
And away we go.
Look on that screen over there, because you keep turning away. Yeah, see, we want to see the shininess. And now you play. I have the off button. I can shut her up anytime I want to. I want the guitar, not her.
My parents would have liked to have that.
I can sell that Vanessa off button to them for a price. So, I'm going to say what I think. You've just, played this for the first time today. I've had a couple days with it. First of all, big thanks to Hannah Mehl for doing the amazing vocals and lyrics and everything for the song that you saw at the beginning. I'm very happy and very proud of that. Kick-ass performance, Hannah. Thank you. Let's do a lot more. I think price-wise, this is in the between... And I think it would be tough to find its equal. I think this is conceptually with the HSS, the vintagey trim, locking tuners, roasted maple neck. This is totally in the vein of the Ibanez AZs, the Fender American Ultra. And I think quality-wise, if we're looking at how it's built with the mahogany and the top, and you'd be hard-pressed to find any flaws in the craftsmanship. Playability is amazing. This is made in Japan, so not at the Fujigen factory, but it's made in Japan. So, which is where the where the Ibanez AZ Prestige comes from. I think you'd be hard pressed to find something in that price range that can rival it. It's easily on the level of the Ibanez AZ Prestige and the American Ultra, which clock in at hundreds more. I think my AZ is about 1,000 more almost. The American Ultra Strat is at least 600-700 more. And we actually compared them earlier, just clean. And when we went to the American Ultra, for example, it didn't quite hold its own compared to this, right? This definitely had more spank.
Definitely, yeah. So it was more like for ambient, less.
When it came to the attack, this is just very, very good. So I got two things I might not be super fond of. One thing is you have to get used to reverse headstock when you're tuning. I don't like it as much. It's not a no-go. I think the look of the reverse is good. The reversed headstock is good, but tuning it, if you're not used to it, is a little bit of a pain in the ass. And the tremolo sticky thing is solid, doesn't wiggle around too much. Nice floaty trem, but the volume knob for me is a problem because it's pretty damn hard. It's tough. You can't really actually just use your pinky to roll it up.
No, and it's also, I feel like it's not. It should be more like here, so you can roll it better. And I don't know why they put this here.
Actually, the silicone humbucker switch, I don't mind it that much.
Yeah, so you can't operate it by accident.
It's in the same position where it's on the AZ from Ibanez. Yeah. But this is something that I never am able to just like roll up with my pinky. I always have to grab it and actually turn it 2 or 3 times, which
can be really hard.
Yeah, it doesn't make, in a live situation, it's difficult to just roll it down and up. You have to be very violent. So I think that should be a little bit easier.
So if you do this, it's not
it's not up. No, it's not up. But, well, that's what I think. What else? You go.
As I said, I like that the switch is not too easy to operate, so you don't do like this. You don't operate it accidentally. I really like the playability, so it's really flawless. It's just can go from here to there to the higher frets in like nothing.
It's very smooth to play. What do you think about the color?
It's not my favorite color, but I really like guitars that are not that have many colors. So I like the type, and I really like this blue and green. I'm not a fan of purple, but But if that was blue, maybe a different kind of blue, that would. It's really nicely done, like with the. Is it?
it's definitely an original. It's definitely cool with the kind of the sandblasted and the roughness, but then the rest of the guitar is very smooth. It's a very unique instrument. Obviously, you don't have to get it in the fancy color. They have it in black. But tonally and quality-wise, I think this is worth more than what you're paying for it compared to other brands.
Is it painted or is it Wölkchen Ahorn? Is it in the wood? Or is
this weird kind of a... This is some kind of paint treatment, yeah. Okay, that was it from Vanessa and me. And we're done here. Link to Vola below. Thank you so much, Greg and the whole Vola team. I love you guys. This video hasn't been paid for, but I do get that guitar, and which is nice. And we're gonna put links below, and then something. What am I forgetting? There's always something at the end. Animals at the end. Yeah, no. Animals at the end. Yeah. Till the sun goes out. Full moon, half pride, empty bottles on the dance floor. Ideas have died. I wish that I could